and welcome, people. My name is Avery Miller. I'm sure you guys are wondering something, and that, of course, is what are we going to be doing today? No, I'm kidding. I have tiny hands. I'm going to do something better with those later because that was a missed opportunity. Oh my god. Can you believe it? We're not going to do some sort of weird furry stuff today? Well, I mean, TBH, I'm still going to be in this video, so I think it's been contaminated. You can see my plushie's doing quite well, and my cat might be dead. Meow. Oh. Okay, you're good? Let's go back to over here and get started with whatever we're about to talk about today. Today we're going to be doing something that I'm actually really excited about. It was a lot of fun to do this. It was exciting and cool, but also completely terrifying. So I think it'll be interesting to discuss, and hopefully you will see why it was terrifying. You guys know from the whole AI art video, which is not up on screen. What is happening? AI video. Right there. After that video, it's pretty easy to see that I'm relatively interested in the whole AI thing. I think it's really fascinating. And a couple months ago, as of filming at least, some new software, which isn't like a new invention, if that makes sense. Based on my understanding, it's more of like a mash of all this open source software together. Became easily accessible to anyone in the general public. And what it does is face swap, which is like everyone and the elderly is on Snapbook InstaChat and they're, you know, doing whatever with the face swap thing, and it's like funny and it's goofy and it's in the uncanny valley and it's creepy. Well, not so fast, because this is the most realistic face swapping I have ever seen. Because when you're sitting there swapping your face with your BFF for laughs and giggles, it's just weird looking and it doesn't look real, but this stuff looks very real. Videos made with this technique, with this type of software, is called a deepfake, because it's like deep AI learning and like it's fake, or maybe because it's so deep into the matrix. That doesn't matter. When there were all these news articles about it, and in fact I could pull up something, news deep fake. See, look, we got tons and tons of articles. When it was first brought into the public eye, it's in a rather interesting light. See that right there? Please don't block me, YouTube. To be frank here, you know, this is awkward, but basically, according to some articles, some versions of this type of software was developed specifically so famous people could be put into NSFW videos without their consent, without their knowledge, and it could look super real. Now that's concerning, and I'm not sure if that actually happened or not. Like I wasn't at the ground zero of this. And the software we're going to be using today doesn't pitch itself with this at all, although I do know that some sites have already prohibited deep fake videos from being published on them, which I mean isn't a horrible idea, I don't think, but I'm not sure if I'm qualified to answer that, and also we're going to talk more about that later. Obviously, that's a horrible thing, pretty spooky, pretty scary, not cool. Any deepfake video that isn't clearly being done as an example or for educational purposes or something like that should have people in it that consented to the concept of having their face swapped onto it. Does that make sense? Did I speak English? It's one thing to put somebody's head into my videos, like Nicolas Cage's head right there, and then like you can clearly tell that Nicolas Cage's face isn't actually there, especially if I move the camera. Wait a second. That being said, let's not lose sight. There's some really cool things this software can be applied to. Just a couple of days of training your PC and stuff. For somebody who's really into video making, such as myself, the amount of ideas that flow out of my brain cannot be captured properly. However, it is sort of scary, because some of these videos look super realistic, and there could be... My computer just turned off. That's nice. Researchers have made stuff like this. What's happening? Are you serious? Researchers have made stuff like this, which looks like Obama, but in fact is not Obama. I believe this was done with machine learning or some sort of similar method. And like, look, it looks like Obama. It sounds like Obama. Of course, the sound is just an impersonation. I mean, but like, that's not Obama. Obama never did that or did this. See? A lot of these articles seem a little fear-mongery, but the point that these videos could be used in a potentially harmful way is not so crazy. Cool? Yeah. Scary? Yeah, I think I should show you guys some of my favorites I found online to sort of portray the whole concept here, okay? If we look up here, check this one out. This is Deepfake Nicolas Cage. And so, you know, it's Superman. There he is, being a Superman. There's no audio because of copyright reasons, but... Look at that! Do you see that? That looks like Nicolas Cage. That looks like Nicolas Cage. And it didn't take $25 million in effects. It didn't take a team of artists. That was done with one of these deepfake apps. I assume they probably have like a relatively nice computer, but like nothing that some sort of really committed gamer couldn't get a hold of, right? I mean, I don't know. It blows my mind. It looks so real. It looks like Nicolas Cage, and he never made any of those expressions. This is one of my other favorites, called Cage Will Survive. From outer space. Look at that. I mean, one of the things that I thought was really crazy was this scene right here. It's Nicolas Cage's face, but the network is really good at figuring out what part is a face and what part is like hair or other obstructions. Another one I'd like to show off is it's a combination of J.K. Simmons deepfake. J.K. Simmons with Patrick Stewart's face on top of it. When I first watched it, I was like, where's the deepfake? Okay, so here's the original. Let's take a look here. Pranked. Guess what? That's not the original. That's the deepfake. Did you get it? Look, that's Patrick Stewart's face. This is the original. Wow, like, dude, that is pretty crazy. The legality of the stuff I just showed you is sort of weird because that is it looks like a person. And Nicolas Cage didn't consent to that. Amy Adams didn't consent to that. It looks real. The software everybody seems to be using is Fake App, which is what I have right there. You give it a bunch of pictures of the person you'd like the face to be put onto, and then you give it the pictures of the face. What was I talking about? Right. The robots are coming to kill us all. I'm tired. I worked today and my computer's making noises and now it's all dark. So sorry about that. I wanted to do a video on this in an effort to see how easy it is to make one of these videos. Spread the message that the public needs to not trust everything they see. You know, you have to get your information from trusted media sources. You should check your sources. You should make sure the news articles aren't linking to other news articles as sources, because that's a really stupid thing that happens for some reason, and I don't know why. Don't worry, I forgive you, Anderson Cooper. I don't know, I think those are my main points, and I think they're very important. Anyways, let's give this a shot. Following tradition, I wanted to involve Nicolas Cage somehow, so what I decided to do was take a bunch of clips of Nicolas Cage. Look at this. So these are the thousands and thousands of images of Nicolas Cage. I got a clip together of a bunch of Nicolas Cage quotes, right? I'm thinking Nicolas Cage's likeness is safe because he's been used in a lot of these deepfake videos on YouTube already. And I think that as long as I make it very clear that this is for educational purposes, I'm trying to show that this is a thing. I think I'm probably okay, but what do I know? I fed it into the Fake app. It stabilized in on his face and created all these things right here. That being said, since they're all just stabilized frames, I could convert it to a video, and you know I did that. Oh my gosh, look at that, it's true terror. Look at that one. Once we got that out of the way, I had to do the same thing for Michael J. Fox because I wanted to put Nicolas Cage on Michael J. Fox's face and put him into Back to the Future because I thought that would be fun. So then what you do is you go over to the Fake app and then you go over and you click train. You put in all the training data you've had and you like make a folder for where it's going to save the models and stuff. And then you click train. This is a really cool part though because all these previews come up and your computer starts using its computer brain to do some weird deep learning stuff. But basically, yeah, you click train and you sit there and you wait. Now, I know some people in the audience are probably asking to themselves, you know, what's next? Do you have to get another person so you can double hack your keyboard? Do you have to readjust the software so it can handle Nicolas Cage's completely insane expressions? No, this is it. Once you get it to start training, you just leave it where it is, and you come back several hours later. Now, the more hours you wait, the better it's gonna look. So for mine, I did about 48 hours, I think. It's sort of interesting how in the first couple hours, a lot of progress is made, and then it just really slows down. It starts taking a really long time for it to train. 48 hours later, what do we got, okay? The important thing to remember that if somebody wanted to make this super realistic, all they have to do is let it train for a longer period of time. Like, I bet on my computer, if you let it sit here for like 2 weeks, if you wanted to be completely sure, it would look pristine. Everybody has time. So, let's see what we got here.
All right. All right, this is an oldie.
What?
Listen, this is a blues riff and B. Watch me for the changes and try and keep
Okay. It gets really bad around here because it's some different shading. Look at that. That's Nicolas Cage's face, guys. So, obviously, it's not pristine as, like that Superman one we showed earlier. But, I mean, this was just, like, 48 hours of training. And that's what we got. And that's a really impressive result. I went through and I found some of the best screenshots from that video that I just showed you. And, you know, I thought I would look at those. Because when you see some of these individual frames, it might blow your mind. Okay, that looks like Nicolas Cage. Looks like Nicolas Cage. That is Nicolas Cage. Look at that one. That's Nicolas Cage's face. I don't care what you say. Look at that. That's crazy, dude. And Nicolas Cage didn't make that expression. The computer didn't find a picture of Nicolas Cage and like Photoshop it onto his face. The computer made that. That's the imagination of a computer. And this is on like a couple years old budget gaming PC. One of the things my computer came into issues with is recognizing Michael J. Fox's face. So for some of the frames in the video that I just showed you there, it jumps around and puts Nicolas Cage's face on other people in the background. Look at that. Look at the dude in the background. Look at what happened. He got Nicolas Cage. That's Nicolas Cage's face, dude. That's crazy. I went ahead and applied this to another one of the... Oh, wow. Wait a second. Remember a second ago when I was talking about the training previews? Yeah, this is it. It just came up now, although I don't know why it's doing that. There you go. You can see that's the first one is the original picture. The second one is what the computer generated when given like the position details of the face from that picture. And then this next one is it trying to apply it to the adverse character, if that makes sense. So like there's Michael J. Fox as the you don't say face. And right there. Anyways, we don't need that. We can close that out. I went ahead and did another one with another scene from Back to the Future. And this one wasn't bad either, if we take a look at that one. Check it out. Nicolas Cage's face on Marty McFly with machine learning. Look at that. Isn't that weird? It's still in the uncanny valley. And also it jumped onto the other dude's face. But pretty crazy, dude. TBH. I'm pretty impressed. I was not expecting such good results from one of my rinky-dink videos. The point of this is, we are now at a point where hyper-realistic videos can be created with your home computer and with a bit of patience, should you be horribly afraid. Maybe, I don't know, I was originally, but the more I've looked into it, I think there are probably a lot of cool uses for this type of software. As long as you do your research and you do your due diligence and you do your due diligence. Is that how it goes? I am also concerned that people won't get the message that this stuff can be fake. Bad stuff will happen, and I'm sure it will. However, this is totally inevitable. It was going to happen eventually. I just didn't expect it to happen so soon, frankly. I mean, step cautiously. Something that I've also heard is like the concept of banning fake app, which I want to emphasize. This software, it's not like this can just be banned. Deepfakes are an idea. They're a concept of how a video could be created with neural networks and machine learning and stuff. It's not like you get rid of the app and it's not going to not pop up again. Double negative. In my personal opinion, I think the best way to go about protecting people from this being used in a malicious way is to, be cautious, look at the facts. You feel me? This video was super interesting to make, and I hope you enjoyed it. I would like to thank my Patreon supporters. Here they are for supporting my videos. I really appreciate you guys. As always, you can watch my videos on Vimeo. It's like my backup. You can also find me on Twitter. I post there sometimes. and Patreon, as previously mentioned. Also, thanks to my good buddy Mudsy for making some really good art over the last couple times. You should check out Mudsy. I have some more fun videos planned for very soon, mostly furry related things, but subscribe if you'd like to see that. Thanks to Nicolas Cage for being weird, and serious thanks to the people who made Back to the Future, because Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies. I have Christopher Lloyd's autograph, because I'm a nerd. One of my favorite trilogies of all time. Some would say Back to the Future is one of the best works of fiction of all time. And I'd agree mostly, because who said it's fiction? I can't believe he gave this to me. It's almost 63 years old now. Do not open until 1985. This is really old. You gotta be careful with it. It's in horrible condition. Dear Dr. Brown, on the night that I go back in time at 1:30 a.m. Signed, your friend, Marty.